Alright, good morning, good day, good evening. This is the African Crypto Warlord. I hope you guys are doing well. Today we're going to be looking into Bitcoin from the 21 day down to the 1 minute. We're going to define statistically significant levels through our Laplace distribution on the 7 day, which I've been running for the past year now. The same zero in volatility. Then we're going to look at monthly, weekly and daily volatility means. Considering people don't really know what mean reversion is, I hear it popping up on some very high-end streams, but they can't define it. So we'll define it here on Bitcoin. So let's get into it. We're going to work the 21 day all the way down to the 1 minute, and we're pretty much looking at this indicator here. We're looking for the direction of volatility. Okay. Then these secondaries over here, you'll be able to see if they're crossing at the mean. They're most powerful to the downside. So here on the 21 days, technically the trend starting to the downside. We are waiting for volatility to confirm. We need contracting in volatility, this going down. So staying green, going down, and that flip into this gray cloud needs to flip into the positive side. Thus we have price candlesticks matching the direction of volatility. Alright, so 21 days, 50-50. We have 2 days and 3 hours. Okay, it's quite an important thing considering we've had the same 21 day candle went from 40 grand to pretty much 48. So it's nearly an $8,000 move in one 21 day candle. So let's get into it. 21 day is sideways. The 14 day is negative drift. So what this means on like the 1 minute is any pumps are going to be sold into, aka you're looking for lower highs. Obviously it'll break up and down, it won't be like that forever, but majority of the dips will end in a lower high. So that's the first observation. When does that end? In 9 days. Okay, then we will get into this towards the end, the Laplace distribution, but what you can see here is we've pretty much smoked the levels that are demarcated. We'll get to that, and it is also moving into a negative drift without a trend. There is a bull div here, but this negative drift technically cancels out that bull div play. Over here is sideways. It does have the opportunity for a bull div. This isn't done flashing. 7 day has 2 days and 3 hours left. So the 7 day and the 21 day, they print on the same day, which will be Monday. 5 day. Expansion to the downside, sort of losing its trend over here. Obviously we've just had a pullback this evening or in the last 3-4 hours, but if it loses any one of the levels we'll define later, this will carry on going down. The 3 day is also sideways. When does it close? 2 days and 3 hours, same as the 21 day. Okay, then our 24-hour we don't have a cone here, but the 24-hour is sort of 50-50. There are some people that are looking for at least a weekend pop from what I can see here. So we'll demarcate the levels for this weekend as we start to get down into our volatility ranges. Here is under positive drift, which technically means the dips will be bought up. Now that does make sense considering we've had a crossover here and a crossover here. DLP, RO and APP are looking to go positive, and I forget this thing's name, anyway, also looking for it to go positive. We're going to look for things that are going to cancel that. 6 hour is looking for expansion mode. Unfortunately, the reason why it got wicked down pretty much $400, what's that, a little bit more, $600, is because it didn't have the opportunity to catch a trend, so it was still yellow. Okay, then we have a 3 hour. 3 hour, it has some positive drift, so that's matching the 12 hour, but it's also losing its trend. Maybe we can throw the VRE up over here. Alright, any closes below this daily mean over here, this is on MEX, but connect on MEX is 41,647. Any closes below there, more than likely going to be pushed through from these higher term time frame negative drifts on the 21 day trend. So you could technically say today and tomorrow's daily VREs, any failures below those, Bitcoin carries on pushing down. Then we move on to the 90 minute. 90 minute is looking like a sneaky pump. Sneaky pump, as we can see, is only going to be held at $41,650 thereabout. Now, there is a weekly mean up here at $44,050. Okay, if it does want to rip, let's back up about 6% from here. Now we're going to have a new daily VRE print, more than likely. This printed today, it's been downwards, so it might actually print a little bit lower. So if price action comes down, has a hidden bull div on the higher term time frames, and pushes through, that's the target you're expecting for the weekend, if it's bullish. If it doesn't touch it this weekend, at least there's an untouched weekly if this thing starts to rocket down to the 36 grand region, 38 grand region. I'll pull it up on the 7-day cone. Alright, what can we see here? It's pumping itself into negative drift. How long have we got? 34 minutes. Mean reversion down, mean reversion down, mean reversion down, mean reversion down. So any closes below, pretty much exactly where it's at. We are looking for that scoopity poopity down here in this weekly range, where our next daily VRE will be. Boom. Hold above the daily VRE tomorrow. I'm going to guess it's going to just be somewhere here. We'll draw it like a yellow. Alright, hold above there. I'll draw what I'm looking at here. Hold above here, bang, and you get to push through up. The general idea is this thing is going to carry on wanting to push into here. That's a $6 cent move, not a $6 move. Alright, then we have the 15 minutes looking sloppy chips, is looking for a trend though. Alright, 5 minute, not that this is going to be of any relevance, sort of losing expansion to the upside, not so good. 1 minute, positive drift above the daily mean. Alright, so this daily mean is dictating a lot. There is slippage here of its monthly mean at 4,565. So you can come in and bounce as it's done here a few times. Alright, but this is the general region we'll be looking at for tomorrow. If you can hold above this region here from, let's just say, 41,356 over the weekend, we do expect at least another push until some bad news comes out into 44 grand. Let's go define our regions on the cone. So we already know we're looking for a 44 grand. Oh, let's double check. Is it really that high? It is. Okay, cool. This one. Alright, we have two Laplace distribution cones. I'll zoom out. Where did we hit? We pretty much hit our 7-day Laplace distribution mean under a positive skew. So we've got to wait for more flashes to come through the book. None of them have lined up as of yet, so we can't use a new cone. This is technically under positive drift. Now, in this cone, what am I looking for? I would look for a pullback down here into 34. If you can hold above 34, then we start pressing back up. Now that's a very high number. Where does it want to be? This is a range. You really want to play this range out. It wants to push back up into this $80,000 region. If it fails here, we're going down to 14,000. Any one of these lines here, 18,400, 22,200, and 27,700. You're looking for anything to slow it down. Obviously, we didn't have the legs to hold above this mean. Not so good. If this was the 1 minute, that's all I really expect is a pullback down, you hold above the pink, and you get a push again through the mean. That would be healthy. Anything that doesn't touch in these lines and it tries to pull back halfway through this nonsense, not so good for me. If you found this information helpful, please do like and subscribe as we start to move on to the Pro cone. So this one has drift on it. Okay, we'll leave this cone up here on the right and just demarcate nothing there, cool. So under positive drift cone, what are we looking at? We're looking at pretty much it wicked into this region here. Obviously our non-skew cone caught that a lot easier to 48 region. Fail, come touch this line, it's simple, down to 38k. you more than likely have an opportunity to have a good trend start from here for the longer term, like the next 6 months. So this is the region I'd be looking for, which is obviously halfway in between this region over here. Okay, what does that mean? If we fail here, we're into the pink line, minus $4,000. If we hold here, we're back into this line that is stopping it at 42,831. It's 44,000 target. The weekly VRE is all the way up here. Oh, we got to demark it. Come on, go away. We've got a market over here. Let's do that in pink so I can see it. It's not going to do it anyway because I'm on the perp. So it's 44 grand. We're looking for 44 grand in here. Alright, as you can see, it's below Poloniex' spot, which adds another hidden bear div if this was to play through. Now that we're here, what are we going to do? We're going to use some good math, and we're going to say this over here at 36,000 is a very good mark to go and hit. That's an untouched weekly. We have another untouched weekly at 32. If we've got another one anywhere else, that looks like it's an untouched weekly as well at 26. And we'll just sort of leave it off there. That's touched. Okay. Ideally, if you are bullish long term, you want this thing to pull back all the way down to 26, so it has the opportunity to touch that untouched daily mean here at 44,000. If it doesn't, Bitcoin becomes very sketchy to trade. So even if it does get above the 50,000 mark, there's still these untouched daily means. I don't know if it takes bad news to get there, all these ETFs and all this nonsense, but a good clearing out of these VREs makes for easier trading. What you can see here, sure, it went from $29,000 down to 25,000, but as you can see, it was untouched. What did it do? Came up, printed the candle exactly where the untouched mean was of the weekly, and then found continuation. If you found this information helpful, please do like and subscribe. We're going to wait on the 21 day. That prints in 2 days and 2 hours. We're going to wait on, I think it's the 5 day as well. So this is 7 day, and 5 days, a half day, and the 3 day. So it's a 3 day, 7 day, and 21 day. They're all lining up. You get that call right in the next 2 days, in the next 50 hours, you can make a shit ton of cash. I wish you guys all the best. Much love, African Crypto Warlord out.